Hello and welcome to the Street Crime UK YouTube channel. Please don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe. Today we look at the case of a school teacher who became a notorious pimp running a high-class brothel but was exposed after police infiltrated his £1 million-a-year prostitution and drugs network. Sorient Sigba, who was 54, was sentenced alongside two other associates who ran Freddy's, an upmarket brothel based in the centre of London, Mews House. Customers to the brothels included bankers and other city workers and were took to the 3-bedroom apartment by drivers who were waiting outside strip clubs. Once they arrived at the apartment, the high-class customers were encouraged to take cocaine, where it was sold for £60 a wrap in order to make the sex better. Clients who went to the establishment ran up bills of £5,000 a night, paying £300 an hour with any of the venue's women, or £390 if they were paying by card. Mr. Sigba, who once worked as a teacher at Geoffrey Chancer School in South London, was joined in the dock by Simon Earl, who was 58, and winebroker Michael Wallen, who was 50. The court heard how the brothel's operations were divided between the three men, with Mr. Sigba being responsible for the girls and the drivers, Mr. Earl dealing with the flats and the cards, and Mr. Wallen looking after the figures. The notorious brothel, which was also run by Madame Vera Fashine, who was 46, had turned over just under £950,000 in the 9 months after the property was purchased in 2006. Mr. Sigba, who was also known as Freddy, was convicted of conspiracy to control prostitution for gain and conspiracy to transfer criminal property at Southwark Crown Court. The court heard how Mr. Sigba, who was an ex-teacher himself, had 2 children who were studying law and medicine at university, and was described in the court as the front person at the brothel, engineering and orchestrating the income. Judge Jeremy McMullen, QC, said, "The operation itself is considerable. One has only to look at the accounts, which were taken night by night, to see the number of girls supplying their services and the hours they worked. Sometimes 10 to 15 girls a night each week." Mr. Earl of Charlehurst, Kent, was sentenced to 2 years in jail after pleading guilty, whilst Mr. Wallen of Hackney, East London, was sentenced to 2 years and 5 months in jail after admitting conspiracy to transfer criminal property. An investigation by the Metropolitan Police Human Exploitation and Organised Crime Command had undercover officers make 3 visits to the brothel before officers raided the address. Undercover officers, named only as John and Alex in court, visited the property before being approached by minicab drivers outside the city's burlesque club in Farringdon. After the door to the brothel was opened by Madame Fashine, the officers found 5 barely dressed girls aged between 20 and 25. During the second visit by undercover officers in October, a Jaguar car, later found to be registered to Mr. Sigba, was parked outside the property, and Mr. Sigba this time opened the door to the brothel. Inside, the driver who had brought the officer told Ms. Fashine that he was looking for a real good party. When officers arrested Mr. Sigba at his office, they found a hire purchase agreement for a Jaguar seen outside the Mews. It took the jury 2 hours to deliver a guilty verdict to Mr. Sigba of money laundering and controlling prostitution for gain. Mr. Sigba of Erith, East London, was handed a jail term of 6 years. This was 3 years for each charge. Miss Fashine of Croydon, South London, was handed a 9-month sentence, which was suspended for 3 years. Her charges relate to the assisting and management of the brothel and 2 counts of supplying cocaine. Once the 4 had been sentenced, Detective Constable Kieran Backhouse from the Metropolitan Police's Trafficking and Prostitution Unit, who are also known as TPU, said, "These people ran a brothel at an address which, on the outside, appeared very nice, but on the inside, they were exploiting young women for their own financial gain. By painstakingly searching through financial information and making undercover visits, we were able to establish what those people were doing and how much they were making from their crime. Because of this, They have been convicted and sentenced. This should be a warning to anyone else who's thinking of exploiting young women in this way. The Metropolitan Police will take every step to find them and prosecute them. Thank you for joining us today. What are your opinions on the crimes? Do you believe a sentence of 6 years for Mr. Sigba was too harsh or not harsh enough? Please let us know what you think in the comments below. Thank you for joining us today. If you enjoyed this content, please don't forget to like and share. And if you're new to the channel and you enjoy the Street Crime UK content, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button and hit the bell so you can join us on the next video. Thank you for joining us, and until next time, stay safe.